Hey guys, I'm Chef D-Max. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to do a great chili. Super fun, interesting. I'm mixing chicken and pork with this. You can make it turkey, however you like. Stay with me. Click subscribe if you're not doing that. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video and ring that bell, and I'll send you new things that I have coming up. And I got some chili coming up. It's going to be beautiful on a cold day. So let's learn how to make it. See you back in a second. Okay guys, we're back. In here I've got some sliced garlic. I want to take my butter here. I'm going to put a lot of butter in there because I love butter. I don't know why, I just love it. And you should like it too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe this butter around in my pot. You can use any pot you want for this chili. Nice big pot. Give us plenty of room to cook in. And probably about 5 or 6 cloves. You don't have to overdo it. You just want to give that beautiful earthy, garlicky flavor to this butter before we start cooking our meat. So with that, I'm going to let this cook down a little bit. While I'm doing that, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the other ingredients that are going to go into this. So what I'd like to do is I've got some different chilies here, and obviously we're making chili, right? So if you can use some real chilies, it's going to give your chili a lot more flavor. So here I took some I've got dried chilies that I've soaked in some water. I use 1 pasilla chili, 1 Guillo, and I've got 1 ancho, okay? And then I've soaked these in water so they're soft, and I took the center of them out. Like when they come dry, you can buy them in bags, you can buy them online, buy a bag of them, put them in your cupboard. They don't go bad. They're dried, so they last forever. So you don't have to worry about, having to use them really quick. So I take these chilies and I let them sit in this water. I make hot water and pour it on top of them, and I let it sit in there for a couple hours. Now you can do it faster if you just want to cook them quicker. You can do that, but you can cook them in hot water and they'll soften quicker. But if you have time, just do that. And then the reason I don't toast them is sometimes people over toast them and they'll burn them. So you don't want to do that. You can see this chili has got beautiful skin on it and beautiful flesh to it. So what I want to do, I don't want to have those big chunks of dried chili in there I like to eat. I just want the flavor. They add this richness that's really amazing. So if you don't have those chilies, you can just buy like a Guajillo chili powder, or you can buy a chili powder mix, which is used sometimes a mix of different chili powders. Okay, my butter, we want to make sure this is nice and getting nice and toasty. I'm going to put my burner up here. I want this to get nice and hot. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to take a little of this water and I'm going to put it in here with it. I don't need all of it. Let me taste it. It's got a lot of flavor. Okay. I don't use all that water because sometimes it can be a little bit it can be a little bit too much chili flavor for this. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to blend these. I want to show you what it looks like. Okay. I just finished that, and you can see, look at this color. Look at this beautiful dark chili paste color that's on there. Now we're going to add that in there in a little bit. But what I want to do first, you can see right here, look at my garlic is starting to brown, and I want that. It's going to toast the garlic, toast the butter, right? Now I'm going to add, I use ground chicken and I use ground pork, okay? Again, if you want to just use turkey, right? But I love pork in there. I mean, unless you're against pork, I think you should have some pork in there. Just because it's so flavorful, so flavorful. So there's a lot of ground products in here. Now, you can do anything. This is where you make your chili, meat-wise, and make it yours. If you want to make it with, venison, or you want to make it with elk, or you want to make it with bison, you want to make it with lamb, ground up, you choose, do you. But I've got pork and chicken in this one. It's about 1 pound of chicken and 1 pound of pork. So I use equal amounts of both. Now, what I want to do is let those cook down for a second. And I like to season it or season with salt and pepper at every level. So I'm going to add in some salt. That also helps kind of the juices to come out of the meat a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to put some pepper. I don't worry about putting a lot of pepper. I'm just going to put a little bit of black pepper because black pepper has its own flavor. But there's a lot of different chili flavors in here. Okay, so we don't need to overkill it with pepper on this because pepper is going to kind of get lost, to be honest with you, when it comes to these other chili flavors. Okay, so I've got some peppers here. I've got onions, carrots, celery. I've got peppers. I've got green peppers here, and I'm going to show you how I cut those peppers. I want to just cut down the wall of the pepper like this. Okay. And I want to just use this flesh. I don't want to use this. See how I cut around it? So all I got was the flesh. I didn't get any of the seeds or that pith, right? Seeds are just overwhelming. The same thing with the seeds in the dried chilies. You want to get rid of those. It can make it extra spicy too, and in a way that can be a little bit overbearing. I add a little bit of spice in this as well as the spice from those Guillo and pasilla chilies, which they can be spicy sometimes. So you want to be prepared for that. You see how I'm chopping these back and forth to get like a little dice. So I basically slice them. And I did this with my carrots, onions, and celery, and those green bell peppers. So I've got a lot of fresh vegetables going in here in this chili. You know, it's gonna be cold out this week here. For us, very cold. So this has made me think of I got to do a little chili because chili is one of those items. It's just like when it's cold outside, it's just so nice to have a good hearty chili, right? So here I've got my peppers, you can see, and I'm gonna add this one red pepper to all of these green peppers. Again, if you like just the sweetness of red peppers, you can do that. Green pepper gives you an interesting and nice flavor. It can be an acidic flavor, but in a chili where we're cooking it for a long time, it takes away some of that heavy acidity and it gives nice flavor to your chili. So that's why I use it. Okay, we want to keep stirring this around, scraping the bottom because we don't want anything to burn, right? We just want it to brown. See how it's browning nicely? The browning is going to add good flavor to this chili too. We want that meat to brown. Okay, so we want to keep breaking the meat up. Now, if you like to make your chili with chunks of meat, you can do that too. You can use chunks of pork. You wouldn't use chunks of chicken, of course, because it would overcook really fast. But if you had like a pork shoulder and you diced it up, that would be great in this too. So a lot of people do make their chili like that. I like it with this ground meat. Now here you can see I've got a bunch of different beans here. I've got black beans. These are all cooked. Now you have to cook your beans separately, or you can buy them cooked if you don't want to mess with that. You can buy canned beans. Here's a chickpea. Otherwise, you have to cook these all separately and then be ready to put them in because they have to be the even amount of doneness. Unless you're using one chili. If your chili's going to take a long time to cook, and you have a bean that you've soaked, like a red bean, like a lot of people put kidney beans in chili. If you soaked it overnight for a long time, then you can just put that in. But otherwise, have those already cooked or buy them in a can like that, and you'll have those ready to go. Okay, this I want to keep cooking up. Now it's probably going to take a few minutes to cook this up, so let me work on this for a bit, and then we'll come back when this meat's closer, and I'll show you how we add the veg in and get the rest of it going. Okay, guys, you can see that this meat has all been kind of cooked now. Now it can braise for a long time, and it's only going to get more tender as it gets cooked up. But the flavor is nice. Got some seasoning in it. Now we want to put our dry seasoning. So I'm going to put 1 heavy teaspoon of chili. That's like a paprika, like a smoked paprika. Okay. Then I have cumin, and I'll probably 2 teaspoons of cumin, because cumin's like that one that you always associate with with good chili, right? And then coriander, ground coriander as well. And I put a big heavy tablespoon of the ground coriander, okay? Then I'm gonna put in my onions and my celery. And here I've got my carrots, onions, and celery here, okay? And my peppers, okay? So these are all dry ingredients. Not dry, I mean dry spices and my vegetables. And these need to like cook down together and wilt. Normally when you put dry spice on something, you usually have to hydrate it really quick, but we don't need to do that now because you can see there's a lot of juice in where the meat was, and the vegetables are going to start to saute now, and we're going to let these saute and let these flavors come together. Those dry spices, the paprika, the cumin, and the coriander are going to toast up, okay? And then when this gets cooked for a little while, we'll go ahead and add our dry stuff, and we'll get the rest of the dish going. The only thing I want to kind of finish up is I've got some sliced jalapenos here. I'm going to add those in, okay? Just take a jalapeno like this. Now, if you don't want it super hot, you can cut around it like this. Let me show you. You take that, you cut around it like this and this, right? And you cut that seed pack out. So now you end up with beautiful, see, this whole seed pack is going to be thrown away, right? If you don't want it ultra spicy, but you want the beautiful flavor of jalapeno in there, right? And then you can add more jalapeno that way because your jalapeno won't be ultra spicy. If you put that seed pack in there, one jalapeno or two jalapenos is going to be plenty for this whole batch. So I put a few pickled jalapenos that I had in my fridge too, ones that I pickled a while ago. I like to keep my inventory fresh, so those pickled jalapenos last for 6 or 7 months, but doesn't mean I don't like to kind of toss them in here and utilize them. So with this, we're going to let this cook. So I'm going to have to saute this for probably about 4 to 5 minutes. So I'll see you guys back in like 5 minutes. Okay guys, our chili is cooking nice here. The vegetables have kind of watered down about 75% of the way, which is fine. We don't need to do it all the way because they're going to cook for a long time and give out their juice. I just wanted to sweat them down a little bit, get all those flavors starting to meld together. The reason being is because our beans are cooked, and so we don't want the chili to take, 2 hours to cook because the beans will be mush. But we can simmer them for like 30 minutes and they'll be fine. So at this point, I'm going to put in my chili paste that I've pureed. And again, if you don't have that, you just use your chili powder and just use more of your chili powder. I put the paprika in, but this is where you would use the one that says chili powder on it, okay, the dried one. Again, having the fresh ones, or not the fresh, but the dried whole chilies, I think it just adds so much depth to your chili that if you're a big chili fan, there's no reason that you shouldn't be buying dried chilies and playing around with how the different ones, the pasilla, the guajillo, the ancho, and the hotter ones as well, like the arbol, how they affect your chili and how they make them taste, because that's the exciting part, is the experimentation, right? I've got some corn here. Now, the corn is not something you would put in there like in the winter if you're not in a place where you can't get corn. Otherwise, you could use sweet corn frozen if you really love corn in your chili. I know people who love corn in their chili, so I'm going to put some in there for you guys. But in Florida, we do get our corn starts in the winter. So we do get our corn starting in Florida. So we'll have nice, fresh, sweet corn, but most of the country won't. So just leave it out. Whatever you don't have fresh, you don't want to leave it out, leave it out. So here I'm going to start putting my stock. So I'm using just a bought chicken stock. So you can just use a nice chicken stock or bone broth from the store. It's going to pick up a lot of flavor. So if you didn't have that and you want to just put water, because you're using ground pork, if you're using ground pork, it's going to add a lot of flavor to that. Okay, I'm going to put all my beans in here like that. Okay. And then I'm going to toss them around a little bit before I put the last ingredient, which is my my tomato. Now I use a nice San Marzano sweet tomato, San Marzano tomato for this because I just like the flavor of it. I can't get my hands off of that ground pork. But with this, it's just nice tomato sauce. Or not tomato sauce, it's just the crushed tomato. I don't like the tomato chunks in there myself. If you like that, you can put it in. You could actually add in like something like you could add in like cherry tomatoes as well. That'd be really nice in there. Okay, and that's it. So, you know, one large can. What size is that, you guys? That's a 1 pound. Oh, it's a 28 ounce. So a 28 ounce can of tomato paste or tomato, crushed tomato is what it is. It's not tomato paste. I don't put tomato paste. I don't use tomato paste a lot. I do use it in some really long things that are cooked for a long time. You know, some people like to use it. I just don't use it that much. At this point, I want to taste it, even though it's not cooked. It's just kind of warm here. I'm looking for salt because I want to figure out a little bit of what the salt needs are going to be like. And I think it needs just a little bit more, like a strong tablespoon of salt. And then I'm going to cover it. Now, I'm going to bring this to a boil and I'm going to simmer this. When I simmer this, I'm going to cook this for about 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like. Hey guys, we're back. It's been about 30 minutes. Let's take a look at this thing. Okay, I've got my chili here. It's looking really good, by the way. I'm going to take some out. Wow, look how beautiful and rich the color of that is. Tons of meat in that. I'm going to fill my bowl up here. Whoops. Made a mess. I want to taste it at this point. I pretty much seasoned it very nice when I finished that. And I want to taste this for salt now. Oh, wow. That's hot. But it's perfect seasoning. I just put just the right amount of salt. Doesn't need any more salt. It's thickened up. You can see how nice and thick and rich it is. The chilies have melded together with the tomato. The tomatoes cooked down. All of the juices from the vegetables and the meat have blended together. Wow. I usually put a little bit of cheese on top, like this. I use pecorino romano. It's a little salty and like lean. You can do that. You can put creme fraiche in there. Whatever you do. A lot of people put it on pasta. So whatever you like to do with. One of the flavors that we could have added to it when we added our liquid was we could have added some beer to it if you wanted to do that. You could use a dark beer or a light beer. You could even put wine in it if you wanted to as well. But I just like it like this. A little bit of cheese on top. Pecorino Romano gives it that, it gives it a little saltiness. Beautiful cheese flavor. That dry cheese flavor is fantastic with it. You're going to love this. Try it at home. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments and I'll answer it for you. So I'll see you back in the kitchen soon. I'm Chef T Max.